Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the video. So today I'm bringing back the beginner to 2K guide, and we left off at episode 12, and that was I guess the Avubly section of the series. We went from episode 1 all the way to episode 12, and we went from ranges from very beginner, so playing as AI, to playing as 1800 players. I'm planning to move the series over to Definitive Edition now, and I've done a lot of thinking about how I want to go about this, and I even got some of your opinions by doing a little community post on YouTube. And the conclusion is it's going to be, continuing on DE from now on, so on Definitive Edition. And I'm starting today by doing just a rec review of a game I played versus Fire yesterday. I'm going to be going over the rec. And let me just, before I get started into this video, just talk to you guys a little bit about what I have in mind for this series going forward. So in DE, there's a few new features that really needed a lot of thought into how I'm going to work them into the series. So first of all, there's the queue, which happens at random times. So I'm going to have to do my intro during the 1 minute after I find a game. So that's a little bit more on me, a little bit more stress on me to get like the intro done first try. Also, there's different maps. It's not just Arabia, so the series will be a lot more diverse now. However, the things that will remain the same, it's still going to be top level 1v1s, or maybe not top level, but like, varying levels. And it's still going to be purely educational commentary. And I'm going to try to win games not by doing fancy micro, but by playing smart and actually controlling the game and making smart decisions. Okay, so those will remain the same, but like I said, different maps, different queues, and different level opponents. I can get matched up versus a pro, like I am in this game versus Fire, and I can get matched up versus someone who is like 1600 Ruby level, for example. So I can't promise you that I'm going to have the same level games or a gradually increasing level of games. However, I could promise you that all my commentary will be educational, and I'll be explaining my every move, and hopefully you guys can learn from watching me play and from my explanations. Furthermore, I am going to be doing the Road to 2K on the actual DE ladder. So right now, top players, I think I'm currently rank 3. Tato is rank 1 right now at the recording of this video at 1847. I'm currently at 1804, which is cute because that is exactly where I left off on the Vubli one. So I'm pretty much starting off from 1800. This time, 1800 is like the top 5 ranked on the ladder. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to show you guys my journey as I go from 1800 to 2K on the DE ladder. So I will, end the series when I hit 2K on DE. And until then, I'm going to be doing an episode every couple days of a game I play off stream or on stream, either live or recorded game. So I might do it in this format where I go over a recorded game, and I might also do it as a live game. So I'm going to see what you guys like better. If anything, drop a comment and let me know what you guys like better. But yeah, that's just where I'm going to be taking this series. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you have any suggestions. And without further ado, let's hop into episode 13 of our beginner to 2K guide, where I review this rec of a game versus a Fire. Let's hop right into it. All right, so this is just to give you some backstory here. This is a game I played yesterday, and it's going to be how do I play it? Yeah, there we go. Let's slow it down. It's going to be a Huns war on Ghost Lake. So we're both playing as the Huns. You have me in blue here on this corner of the map, and what's cool is I can cast when it's or I can go over the wreck when it's zoomed out, which I think is really nice. So it's gonna be on Ghost Lake. If you guys aren't familiar with the map, quickly let's go over here. There's extra sheep around the map, so it's really good for us to be taking those. There's a couple clumps of them, I think, at least. There's one here, and then there's a couple in the corners as well. So there's extra sheep around the map, so it definitely rewards you from scouting. And also this big frozen lake in the center prevents you from making any buildings on it. So it's pretty much like Arabia on the sides, very standard, but the middle, you can't build on it. Also, you tend to have maps that are very wallable. However, in this case, I get off to a start that's kind of weird. My map is very open, and so that's kind of different for the standard Ghost Lake map. My gold is far from my TC. My woodlines are far, very hilly on different sides of the map. And so right away I'm thinking my standard strategy is usually Drush FC on this map to try to get into the the Castle Age units like crossbow, and also add in some TCs and start my boom. However, I'm not able to really do that on this map. So I decided to do something else, and you guys are going to see what my thought process is going forward. Quickly, let's take a look at Fire's map here. He's playing also the Huns, like I said, Huns War. His map is much better. So more of a conventional Ghost Lake map where you can easily wall. If you just do like a little cone here, wall the side, and he'll be pretty fine. The one nasty thing though is he has literally all his mines on one side, as well as his berries close by as well. But like I said, if he walls up properly, I think he'll be more than happy with the map he got. Maybe a forward siege for me here could be dangerous in Castle Age, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Alright, so right away I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to be doing a Drush FC, so my next thought is, it's a Huns War. I have a couple options. I can open Scouts, or I can open Men-at-Arms if I don't want to be doing that Drush into FC. So, the way I come to my conclusion of the strategy here, you can already see I have 4 on wood here. The way I come to the conclusion of which strategy to play with is simply by deciding what my opponent's options are. I'm scared of my opponent going Drush FC, because I don't know what his map looks like. If I go to my Fog of War right now, I haven't scouted him, and it's already 5 minutes. I already have to make a decision. So I throw 4 on wood, and I think to myself, I'm going to go opening Men-at-Arms. And the reason I go for this is, like I said, I'm scared of FC. If he's going to full wall and go Drush FC, then I'm going to use my Men-at-Arms to really pressure his walls and prevent him from getting off that clean FC. I'll even send Pls forward and really commit to the strategy by adding in towers and going full feudal. Remember how I said that committing to strategies is definitely my philosophy when playing this game. And so that's why I decided to open with the Men-at-Arms. My opponent, you're going to see in a second here, decides to go for some scouts. I'm not sure why he went with a scout opening. He might have thought, you know, his map, pretty solid, pretty easy to wall. He'll open a few scouts, wall it up, and then play a clean Castle Age. Again, nothing wrong with that. He could have probably Drush FC'd if he wanted to, but but scouts with Huns is also a fine opening here, okay? I find in 3 extra sheep, and I bring them in. There were a couple other patches as well here. Unfortunately, I just didn't scout them, but that's okay. Extra is extra, we take it. Alright, fantastic. And now we're nearing Feudal Age here. And this is when the game starts to get a little bit interesting. So, like I said, I am going to be going for the Men-at-Arms. My opponent, going for the Scouts. He's got a double lumber camp. Do I know he's going to go for some Scouts now? So, right now, I'm scouting his map. I see his berries, and I see his wood line. I've got no idea he's going to be going for Scouts, except for the fact that this is a new wood line. I know this because he has only two trees chopped. So, I have a feeling that is a new lumber camp. But again, nothing too certain. Finally, I scout the fact that he's making the barracks now, and I can conclude for sure that he is going for some scouts. Alright, so right away I'm rushing like instant aggression with my Men-at-Arms. So I get this question often. Let me just pause here. I get this question often. You guys ask me, do I wait for 3 scouts? Do I wait for 4 scouts? In this case, do I wait for my Men-at-Arms? No. You take your units and you send them across the map right away. Aggression is key. Like I said, you want to commit to your strategy. This is a Men-at-Arm rush. It's not a Men-at-Arm wait for 4 then rush. You have to go aggressive. And especially if your opponent is not going Men-at-Arms, if he's going for a different strategy like scouts that's a little bit slower, I want to make use of this time window and move my units across the map, especially on a map like Ghost Lake where it's really far to get from one TC all the way to the other. Okay, so definitely can't stress that point enough. All right, let's zoom back into the regular zoom here and see what ends up happening. So he's gonna go for his scouts. Notice that Fire is defending his map quite nicely here. He's not doing too bad. He's gonna drop a stable, gonna get both his eco upgrades, and he's keeping his villas on this side, which is close to the TC, here. And he's playing it safe. Almost slipped up with that villager, but nothing too serious right now. Alright, so my thought process with this Men-at-Arms, let me just quickly talk about a few things. I know I'm pausing a lot here, but there's so much going on here. Even though on the surface it just looks like one Men-at-Arm rush and, versus scouts, nothing crazy. However, there's a lot of thought process going on for me at home. Notice how I didn't transition to a range now. In fact, I'm still mining gold. I still have my 2 lumber camps, and I haven't made a decision as to what I'm going to transition into. And I noticed, I'm pointing this out because I have so much pressure now, and I have full map control. I know my opponent's going scouts. I know he's got no chance to counterattack me. So I'm going to take the time, and instead of rushing into another transition, take the time to do damage with my Men-at-Arms, seeing what comes of it, and then deciding what I'm going to transition into. Alright, very important that I have the time at home to really get my economy in shape and then decide what I want to follow this up with. Especially with a civ like Huns that's very versatile, this can be a very key tactic to not rush into a transition and really wait to see what you actually want to go into. It'll make more sense. If it's still not clicking, it'll make more sense once I show you what happens. Alright, so he gets the spear out. Like I said, Fire defends this decently so far. Just, kind of hugging his DC. I kind of slip up here. Kind of get too aggressive. Lost the Men-at-Arm for pretty much free. Well, not really for free, actually. If you take a look at what Fire's had to do, look at the idols, right? So even if I didn't kill anything, this is still pretty decent damage, forcing my opponent to quick wall as well. And this is not a bad player. Fire actually, does a fantastic job keep his wood line safe. But even a good player such as Fire will make mistakes under the heavy pressure from my men-at-arms. And again, this is coming only because I went right away with my men-at-arms. I cannot stress this enough. Finally, he gets the scout out, his scouts out, and now he can probably fight it. He's got 3 scouts, he has Vils, and he has a spearman. My plan now is just to try and get as many Vils, get as much value with my men-at-arms as possible. And I land a villager here, which is pretty good. And now, like I said, I'm just trying to get as much value. I know they're probably going to die here. Jabeta scouts, which actually nets me another Vil, which is fantastic. Take out a spear. You'll see why I go for the spear later. And now, since I know I can't get any more Vils, I go for his scouts. Because low HP Vils, he will run them back. Whereas scouts, if I can take away some HP, even if he runs them away, it's still a weak scout. That won't do too much for him. So fantastic. And let's see the aftermath of the trade. I traded 4 men-at-arms, I got 2 Vils. I got, I think, 2 scouts, and I got a spearman. So pretty even trade in terms of resources, but I got 2 villagers. Villagers are worth so much at this stage of the game. But not only villagers, I also got idle time out of my opponent. So this is a fantastic rush from my point of view. I forced so many reactions, and I even traded very effectively. Let's see how this game, transitions from this point. And what's this? Men-at-arms into a stable. Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The reason I transitioned into a stable was because my map was so open, so I didn't want to be chasing his scouts with my range units. I didn't want to have that kind of worry. And I realized that his natural response here would be to go for range and skirmishers. And lo and behold, I don't even scout this, not yet at least. I see him making a range, or I anticipate him making a range, and I just confirm it here. So he makes a range, and I already have the stable. So his metagame call to go skirmishers is actually completely negated from my going scouts. And this is again coming from the fact that I did have the time to make this decision. Now notice he scouts my stable, which is not ideal for me, but that's okay. That's okay. Remember, he's a top player. He knows what he's doing, and so he's definitely looking to see what I'm going into. And so now his range, he won't make any skirmishers from it. So he basically made a wasted range. And now since I'm going stable, notice I pull off my 2 Vils from gold. Very important to relocate your villagers. 11 on wood. Could argue that I only need 10. No big deal though. Alright, cool. So now, again, I'm 2 Vils up. At this point, I don't really have to even attack him. I just have to make sure I'm not taking any damage for the rest of this feudal age. Gonna make a few scouts to really just try and control the map here. If you can take a look at my Fog of War, I have really, really good vision of the map. And my plan is really just not to take any unnecessary damage and keep track of his scouts. I think here I might get a little too aggressive. So you'll see in a second here. My scouts, so sure, a couple are weak. However, I still have enough to, in theory, pick off a villager. But his scouts are nearby, and I decide anyway. So I had a kind of a snap decision, or like a couple seconds to make the snap decision, because he's walling. So if I want to go in, it's now. And I was thinking, I want to sacrifice these scouts in order to get 1 more villager. I was a bit greedy, but I don't think this was the right call. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna look to try and get a Vil. Notice me debating these scouts, bringing in more, and I'm really just trying to get a villager. But then when I realized like he just has too many Vils here, and his scouts are just too close by as well, that I decided, you know what, it's probably not worth it, and I run away. I did get some idle time, but I did lose all my scouts and their pressure, so I can't tell if that's worth it in the end. Probably not, but I think it was not too bad. So now my plan at home is simply just to go to the next age and keep an eye on him to see if he's doing anything crazy. I notice he has 5 scouts and a spear, so my immediate reaction is to get a spearman defensively and add a couple more scouts. So you'll see if a spearman will come down right there, and a scout. My reasoning behind this is, once again, I don't want to take any damage, and I'm pretty much mirroring his his response, his moves, I guess you can say. A lot of people ask me, Hera, when do I stop making scouts? And my answer is, if they're going to be useless, stop making them. In this case, I'm only making them because they will be useful, because I need them to defend. If, for example, if he had only 3 scouts, I wouldn't make the 4th. Why? Because that would be useless. So, again, I'm only making enough that would be useful. The 4th, in this case, was useful. Alright, so let's compare our resources now. I'm pretty close to clicking up. He is a little bit further away. Still not too bad, but remember, he is down 2 Vils. And he did have the useless range. Alright, so now I kind of make a weird decision. So I go for a second stable. My thinking was, let me go knights, but then I kind of have a change of heart soon, and I decided to switch it up into cavalry archers. Basically, my thinking was, I wanted knights because I have a lot of farms, but then I kind of thought about it more during the game, and I figured my map is too open for knights. Like, knights are good, but if he's going to go cav archers and I'm stuck with knights, there's nothing stopping him from just running around and raiding me, and then me just following him with knights, and just trying to desperately, prevent the raids. So now I see him pressuring me too much with his scouts. I add another spearman, and I'm really just doing my best to defend and not lose any villagers, and I do a fair job at it. His pressure is actually pretty successful. He pushes me off a few farms, and let's see how I can defend from this on the gold now. So a couple quick walls here, and I'm just trying to take out his spears and just mitigate the threat pretty much. And I do fine. I don't lose any vills. I take a little bit of damage, but it's nothing too crazy here. Fantastic. So here's the change of heart where I go into the cav archers. 3 range. I do waste a stable. I make 2 stables and I don't end up using them. But like I said, I think it's really important to make the right unit instead of just like autopiloting into the easy transition, which is the knights. So remember when I said I had a lot of farms? Well, what did I do? I decided to go ranges, so I took vills off farms. It's very important. I talked about this in a previous episode. You really want to relocate your economy to kind of like mirror what you're doing. If you're doing knights, you need farms. If you're doing cav archers, you need wood and gold. And I made sure to transition my economy accordingly to make sure I'm able to actually afford the cav archers. And notice my economy is in perfect shape right now. So I have enough wood for 2 TCs, enough food for the upgrades like Bodkin Arrow, Bloodlines, etc. And then I have enough gold left over to actually make some cav archers. So pretty much a perfect economy setup right now. And my opponent, Fire, he decides to actually go for knights. So 2 stable knights coming from him. Is that a mistake? I think so personally. However, I do think that he's already too far behind. If you compare the vill count, I'm up 3 villagers. And so I think it's already too far behind for him to actually go for cav archers. So I don't mind the knight play from him. However, I do wish he follows it up with forward siege. Or tries to make a push out of the knight play. Because he would just fall too far behind to my cav archers now. Alright, cool. So immediately gonna get 2 TCs. And again, 1 TC on wood. It's actually close to my main gold, but it's more on the wood line. And then 1 TC on an extra gold or a secondary gold. I do this in pretty much like 90% of my games. I'm doing this. So if there's one thing I can tell you guys for sure, make your TCs 1 on an extra wood or on a second wood, and 1 on a second gold. It's so good. Alright, so I get husbandry right away. I get my Bodkin Arrow, and look at my economy. It's fantastic. I have villas from 3 TC. I prioritize my monastery. I get my monastery because it's a mirror matchup, and in mirror it could go sometimes into the late game where I think that relics could actually win me the game. So for that reason, I do prioritize the monastery, and my opponent's going for the knights. So now it's cav archers versus knights, and here's my thought process. So remember how I said I'm already really far ahead? I already got 3 villagers in the early game, which let me get a faster castle and therefore faster TCs, which even further extends my vill lead. If you guys don't believe me, let's do a quick comparison. I'm at 48 vills right now. Oh, let's actually pause the game. And my opponent is at 36. Did I kill 12 villagers? Did I kill 12 villagers? No. I killed 3 villagers. Why do I have such a vill lead? Because I got up to castle age and I dropped my TCs right away. I'm telling you, I see too many people doing these all-in pushes to desperately try to get a vill lead. All you have to do is just get like a little bit of damage and then just get your TCs out faster than your opponent. It's so much better. And trust me, I used to be a 1 TC player, and while it works, it's much easier to get a vill lead by just adding a TC and playing at home. So not only does this TC get me a vill lead, it also protects my exposed resources. So if there's one lesson to take away from this game, please let it be that you don't have to make crazy moves at all stages of the game. All you need to do is get a small advantage and really snowball that into bigger and bigger advantages by playing safe and playing smart. Alright, so let's continue and see how I can transition this now 12 vill lead into a win. Alright, so now my opponent knows he's behind. Like Fire is not a bad player. He knows he took damage. He knows he's very far behind. He's desperately trying to get damage done. However, he's stuck with knights, and knights, while they can be good if they're paired with siege, if they're just knights by themselves, it's very easy for me to counter them. Look, I already have my monks coming out. I have enough cav archers to really chase him away. And notice that I'm not attacking him. Why? Because I already have the lead. I'm just playing defensive. I'm just trying to defend. And I have a scout here patrolling, just trying to get some vision. But other than that, not much really happening. Just me trying to defend. And notice, let's go to my fog of war for a second. I'm positioning in a way, first of all I have town watch. I'm positioning in a way that I can see all his moves. So he comes here, I can garrison, I have my monk here, I'll get a conversion. And on this side, he's trying to sneak around, I see him. I have Town Watch. So even if I'm open, Town Watch lets me actually defend my map pretty much perfectly here. And again, I'm not doing anything crazy at this point. I'm really just trying to defend and extend my build lead. And I'm going to show you, I haven't even touched him so far. Let's see how much the build lead extended. I'm at 64, and my opponent here is at 43. What is that, 20 now? A 20 build lead, guys. 20 build lead. And where did it come from? I boomed. Simple as that. I'm just not letting him take damage. So, for example, if I take damage now, if he does the damage to me, then yes, he can come back. However, if you play smart, he shouldn't be able to do damage here. I'm getting my university, gonna go for that ballistics. My monks are all on defense. My cavalry are all on defense. And not defense just patrolling one area. No, I'm being proactive with them on defense. I'm following his knights, I'm tracking him. I'm getting really good vision with my monk, my knights patrolling here. Moving out here because I know I have a little bit of time to move out, although I won't get any damage here. He spots it really easily. And again, I'm being proactive, but I'm being defensive. You guys see, it's not camping. It's really proactive. Look at this. I'm really getting the vision. Like, this is intentional. One cavalier moving around. These cavaliers getting me vision. And again, okay, some nice fancy quick walls with the market blacksmith. But even without that, I still have my TC to protect my base here. Alright, and again, it's really not coming down to micro. I can't stress this enough. So for the next couple minutes, it's really him just trying to raid me. And me just holding on and defending. And we'll keep looking at our build lead throughout the game. And seeing exactly where I'm getting my advantages. Like how is it that I'm getting such a big advantage, even though I only killed 3 villagers? So once again, let's compare my build lead here. I haven't killed any villagers yet. I'm at, what is that, 79? He's at 57. So 22 now. 22 build lead. Again, why is it increasing? So now he's on 3 TC, sure. So now it probably won't increase for me for a while, but it's already a 23 build lead. And now I'm mining stone, as I recommended you guys do after you get 3 TCs up. And that's going to really set me up into the late game. I kind of use the market there to click up to Imperial Age. You don't have to do that, but it's a nice little trick. And once I'm up, I'm going to just work on conserving my army and waiting against some nice quick walls. It comes down to really vision, though. I saw him coming, quick wall. If I don't see him, I can't quick wall. Alright. So now that this area is exposed, I'm looking at my minimap, making sure he's not raiding me. Is he? Well, he's not, but if he was, I'm sure I would have reacted in time because I have that kind of vision and I have that awareness that I might need to defend myself here. Once again, I split up my cavalry to try and get some more vision to see what he's up to with his army. And again, I go back to this side, or I'm going around. I'm not just camping one area. I'm really trying to protect, kind of standing in the middle, protecting both my vulnerable areas. So here, and even here to some extent is quite vulnerable. Alright, finally let's compare the position one last time. I'm 82 vills, 110 pop, and I'm halfway up to Imperial Age. My opponent, 85 pop, 65 vills, and he's nowhere near Imperial Age. And it really just came down to the 3 villagers in Feudal Age, and then just playing smart afterwards. So at this point the game is pretty much over. We can actually just go ahead and not fast forward, but let's speed up a little bit here. I don't really think anything else is going to happen. It's really just me doing more of the same, defending against the knights. Again, I'm not doing too much pressure. I chased the low HP knights, coming right back. Keeping track of his army pretty much. Even if I don't kill these knights, it doesn't matter. I'm Imperial Age, that's all that matters. I'm booming with 3 TC. Honestly, if I was playing really well, I think I played this game pretty well, but if I'm playing really well, I would get a 4th TC somewhere. So I would probably get a 4th TC out here. I have the resources almost for it. I get a castle on the hill. This is good, but if I got a TC here as well, or anywhere for that matter here, it would have been ideal. So again, I'm not playing perfectly. There's always something I can do better. Alright, good stuff. I'm, again, just making sure his army's there. Now I'm going back because I'm in the Imperial Age, and I want to wait for my upgrades, but he is simply going to call the GG. Alright, so I know there's a lot of information in this game, and I know I paused a fair bit, but really, if you guys want to take away just a couple points, it's this. Commit to a strategy in the early game and play aggressive. Don't wait for 3 scouts at home. Take 2 scouts, take 2 men at arms, and just move across the map. Really try and get the aggression going, put the pressure. I'm sure if Fire had problems defending a rush, I'm sure a 1600, an 1800, or even a 2K, we're talking Ruby level players, would have the same, if not more, problems defending against this rush, okay? So do the damage. I killed, I think I was saying 3, but I think I killed only 2 vills. I ended up having a 3 vill lead when I hit Castle Age though, maybe 3 or 4. And then I just got my TCs down earlier, extended that vill lead to 20 vills in mid Castle Age. A 20 vill lead means I pretty much have like a third more economy than him. So like let's say if we have if he's got 500 resources, I've got like 750 available. You know, I'm obviously rounding here, but you can just tell that just by having that much more resources, it becomes extremely hard for him to come back in the game because I simply have more stuff. There is a way for me to lose the game though, and that's by making mistakes in Castle Age. The way I got around making mistakes is simply just by playing defensive. There's no point of me continuing to attack and making the game really intense in Castle Age. All I have to do is just sit back, get the monastery, pick up relics if I can. If not, I'm happy just defending and booming up into Imperial Age. It's on him. I did the damage, and that's on him to come back in Castle. The pressure's all on him. I'm fine. I'm sitting back with a 20 vill lead, and I'm playing with vision. Again, this doesn't mean camping. It means being proactive, but being defensive. All right, so if there's 2 things you guys can take away, it's again committing to an early game strategy, and then knowing when you're ahead and laying off the pressure to secure the win. So not to throw the game afterwards. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this rec, and I hope you guys are happy that I'm bringing back the series. I know it's been quite requested quite often in the past few days. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do of it. I think I'm going to go up until I hit 2K on DE, which will probably take me a couple weeks, I would say. So expect at least another, I guess another 7 of these episodes at least. And then if you have any feedback at all in the comments, please let me know. Any suggestions or any feedback is much appreciated. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, and appreciate the fact that I'm bringing back this series that was very well received, by the way. You guys seem to have loved the series, and so I'm happy to bring it back. I hope you guys are too. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.